A little bit earlier, I spoke to the president of Sinn Fein, that's Lou McDonald. We can bring you that interview now. I began by asking what part the £3.3 billion package from the UK to Stormont played in getting the deal over the line.
Well, look, there has been a financial package agreed by the British government, by the Treasury, but just to be clear, the north of Ireland has been underfunded for a very, very long time. And although the headline figure of £3.3 billion sounds like a lot, the reality is that it is still going to be a huge, huge challenge to fund this place correctly, to keep public services up and running and at an appropriate standard. And that's before we talk about the very considerable infrastructural investment and development that's required. So be very clear that one of the first tasks, and I think it'll be an ongoing task for the new executive, will be to put the case to the British government to face down Tory austerity, but also to make the case for investment here. When you compare the north of Ireland to other places, the extent of the underfunding is actually remarkable, and in fact that point has been conceded by the British government. So we need to keep at that. The Irish government will be making a contribution here, and I mean ultimately the economic fortunes of this place, this island, our island economy is island-wide. So a big job of work to develop that, to attract investment, to generate quality jobs. But look, it's all work to be done, and at this stage I think everyone's looking forward to rolling up their sleeves and just getting cracking on all of that.
You said today that Irish unity is within touching distance. What did you mean by that?
Yes, exactly what I said. I think the significance, for example, of Michelle O'Neill coming in as the first Sinn Féin First Minister is just, I suppose, a clear emblem of the wider change that's happened right across Ireland. It's unmissable. It's here in the north, but it's echoed throughout the island. There's a conversation underway about what happens next 25 years, 26 years almost on from the Good Friday Agreement. What does Ireland look like in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in a generation's time?
What do you think?
That's a very exciting conversation.
What do you think it looks like in, say, 10 years' time? Do you think it looks like a united Ireland?
I do. I think the days of partition are numbered. It doesn't work. There's a cost to partition. We started our conversation. No, nothing in life is inevitable, although they say death and taxes come very close. There are no inevitabilities in political life, but I can tell you this much. We started our conversation talking about money, talking about funding this place. And the reality is that so long as Ireland is partitioned, we will face very, very significant economic challenges and disadvantages here in the north and all along the border corridor. The facts are that the big opportunities from our island, whether it's in terms of the climate catastrophe and renewable energies and how we develop that, our skills base, our innovation and research base, all of those things only make sense on an all-island basis if we're serious about grabbing big opportunities and really making our mark on the international stage, but perhaps more importantly, ensuring that we deliver the highest quality and standard of living for people right across the island.
I guess what I'm trying to get my head around is this. You know, you're saying today that because of what we've seen with the first Sinn Féin First Minister within touching distance, Irish unity is within touching distance. At the same time, the DUP leader, Jeffrey Donaldson, is saying we've got legislation today that's protecting the Acts of Union, effectively saying this is all about bringing Northern Ireland closer to the rest of the United Kingdom. I mean, you can't both be right. Sometimes it feels as if, you know, you're kind of two parties grappling with the same problems, but looking in completely different directions on it. Who's right?
Well, we come at things from different perspectives. Here's the objective reality. The union continues only for so long as people consent to that. And equally, Irish reunification requires the democratic mandate by way of referendum by the people. So these are contested questions. This is a debated matter. You know this. I mean, this isn't new in Ireland. the desire for lots of us for reunification, for writing a new chapter for Ireland, others who value the union and who want to maintain the status quo. And the great genius of the Good Friday Agreement is that it gives ample room, democratic space for both. So we will be at an executive table working in common cause and common purpose with people with whom we have the most profound constitutional difference. But we have all signed up to the Good Friday Agreement, to the prospect of referendums, and then the people are sovereign and the people decide. And I feel incredibly confident that the conversation on reunification, as it develops and as we fully explore together the opportunities that present to us, that more and more people will arrive at the view that this is in the best and common interest. And can I say, in any reunified Ireland, we will have British people. You know, British people have their identity today. They'll be British in a unified Ireland. And part of our conversation amongst ourselves, but also with the British system, is how you accommodate and recognise that. So, but for today, we have a lot of work to do. We need to get the executive back up and running. There's lots of assembly members elected, some of them brand new assembly members who have never had the opportunity to take their seat and to make their democratic mark. So I think it's going to be really, really important for them and for the communities that have elected them that finally we get things back up and running. So it's a good news day from Belfast.
We're out of time, but just a very quick thought. Do you give Rishi Sunak any credit if he gets this over the line?
Well, I think in all fairness, today is probably a day for looking forward rather than looking back. I've actually been looking to meet Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, for quite some time, and he has evaded me thus far, but he will not evade me forever. Look, any British government needs to pay attention to Ireland, and I would dearly like the Tory government, the current administration, just to pay a bit more attention. Because we will get over this hurdle. But the funding issue that I mentioned earlier is absolutely critical. And if by any chance the British Prime Minister or anyone close to him is watching this, I would just put him on notice that this is a conversation that we will continue. And I hope that he will have a very willing and listening ear for us.